As researchers and scholars, when we design some particular research projects and apply such research project to assist some particular issues in different disciplines, we have to know the different levels and different source of data collection and data, the usage of data, and also categorization of references when we use different references in our works as reference to support our data collection procedure or our literature review, our discussion, or our conclusion. Actually, we have to know that there are two main bases of data when we use in our research, which are the primary data base and the secondary. The primary data set includes the data that we collect directly through the use of observation, questionnaire, interviews from our samples or our population that belong to the methodology section of our work. Actually, when we design our methodology and decide to use particular instruments and methods to collect data from particular level of population or sample through some observations or through the use of interview or structured or semi-structured questionnaires and also checklists. It constructs the primary data set of our work. In the secondary data set or also data base that we use in our research works includes databases and also libraries and internet. We can use some information from the databases. We can go to libraries to read different books and use some parts from the books and some important issues that support or challenge our work. And also we search through internet some particular online resources, some journal papers or anything that we use through internet. It means that there are two main data sets for our works. The primary data that includes the use of observation, questionnaire, and interview procedures based on our particular population and sample, and also the secondary data set that includes databases and also libraries and internet. But when we use references and we use different data and also different assertions and statements from different people or different works, we have to know that there are mainly 5 categories for our references and works we use in our research works. The first and very important references and sources that we can use in our academic works is journal papers that published and well-established in real journals. Because when we use journal papers, peer-reviewed journal papers pose very difficult and challenging steps and stages, and based on new and real studies, even though based on literature review papers or even research, it means that based on real and new works, and that's why journal papers are the most important base and reference that we can use in our research works. And the second important reference and source for our works that we can use in our research studies are conference papers that published in conference proceedings, actually in well-managed conference, academic conference when researchers present their papers and their papers published in conference proceedings. The mentioned papers also follow some particular procedures that prevent some problems and also help individuals and researchers to improve their works. And the third important source and reference that we can use in our works is academic books or books that published by some academic institutions, like by universities, academic centers or research organizations. And the fourth category is ordinary books that be published by individual through non-academic publications. And the fifth category, which is a little huge and with different choices, all other options and opportunities which are available online and offline, like newspapers, non-academic magazines, interviews, radio, television programs, and broadcasting. That's why when we try to design and apply and finalize our research projects, we have to know the different bases of data that help us to finalize our work, and also different categories of sources and references that we use in our works. Because when we use different references, we can use for all categories. We can use journal papers, we can use conference papers, academic books, ordinary books, and even magazine or newspapers, articles and news. But it's very important to focus at first on the valuable and important and most important sources and references like journal paper, conference paper, and academic books. Because when we use such resources and references, it improves the variability of our work, because such resources are most valuable and relevant, and when we use such resources, it helps us to improve the level of validity and reliability of our work, and do very important and useful works, and have a very successful in work and report and in our academic activities and duties. That's why it's very important to consider different levels of or sources that provide data for us, and also different kinds of sources and references when we use to support our academic works. I'm Dr. Abdul Qahar Sarwari. If you think such videos are helpful, please subscribe the channel. Thank you.